Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Wax. I know I haven't uploaded a video in a while, but it's just been really busy, but hopefully I can start uploading a little more consistently on the weekends now. Now that everything's just kind of slowed down because it's summer. So this isn't a downloaded demo. This is a YouTube video that was uploaded by an engineer who goes by Constantly, and he wanted me to just go ahead and look over this and point some things out. So I thought in the meantime I'd just record it and see where it takes us. So go ahead and take a look. It looks like he's been pretty standard. Everything is pretty standard so far. I almost probably want to skip this part here because it's Swiftwater first. Looks like they've already tried making a few attempts to stop cart for no reason. They got punished for it. Good job on him just staying on the cart. Swiftwater engineer on offense is very uneventful. Kind of just waiting for your team to do stuff. There's very little you can actually do aside from be a teleporter bot for like most of the map. So usually what happens when I immediately when my team caps first, I like to immediately go ahead and place an exit down by apartments, because it's just a very valuable telly when your combo is trying to push into apartments. So he hasn't put one up yet, which is a little concerning here. So he definitely could have gotten one built by now, but it looks like his team did actually force their flank out of tunnel, which is good. They've already gotten the cart pushed pretty far up. So it looks like he has gotten the cart pushed up about as much as he could, and looks like he is going to go ahead and put a telly down here. So good that he's doing it here. Could have been done a little bit earlier though. It really does facilitate getting your players into apartments so that you don't have to really worry about it. If one push fails, you can just start sending people in again.
Okay, he's guns hit 100.
Okay, so the gun and the sentry are down. This is huge. What he's doing here though, okay, so his flank is really low health here, so it's kind of on his combo to start taking apartments so that they can go back in. His flank did die though, and his flank looks like their flank ended up retaking tunnel, so not much to be done about that. This is good though. You want to be upgrading your teleporter as much as you can on this point, especially when you've already taken control of apartments once. Okay, if he's on pistol, I think he was just on pistol there. What he would have wanted to do, like here when you're on pistol, you want to pretty much just whip it out and just start gunning down that sentry that's in main. So he does end up getting it down, but it could have been avoided, and he probably would have been able to start contesting that soldier a little bit earlier had he shut down the sentry. With the pistol and pretty much everything that isn't a shotgun, because there's like very little spread on it, there's no fall off when you're shooting at a sentry gun. Sentry guns don't take fall off damage. So every time you shoot at a sentry with its massive hitbox, you're doing 15 damage to it, and it'll go down really fast, especially if it's a level 1 like that. So just hanging back and keeping your mini around you for support is really helpful. Alright, so his team already got the cart pushed up pretty far here, so again, this is one of the situations where it's Swiftwater offense engineer and there's very little you can actually do aside from wait for your team to get in, because pretty much everything that you're fighting you're fighting at a disadvantage. That's unfortunate. You're pretty much fighting everything at a disadvantage on offense, on Swiftwater offense. So what you want to do is you kind of want to just wait for an opportunity to go in so that you can push in with your team. So that wasn't a really bad life. Looks like I didn't really miss much. He just kind of spawned and went towards the cart and got it pushed in further and further, which honestly is pretty useful on third, because as the cart gets closer and closer to that point, your spawn changes so that you're right there next to it. And so if you're just kind of jumping onto the cart and getting it closer and closer, it puts more pressure on the defending team to put more resources into making sure that cart doesn't get captured instead of just holding down the choke entirely and red room. So I like what he's doing here. This is actually really good. So what he's doing here is he's holding the door open for his sniper so that if something starts fighting him, starts fighting his sniper, it allows him to just back out to safety. This is actually really good. I'm actually kind of surprised he's doing this. It's not really something you see too often. So it's really good. Did kind of just waste 2 sentries there just by having them out in the open. One already had gotten sniped, and he put another one down pretty much in the exact same spot when the sniper hadn't really moved at all. There wasn't really anything to change. And then your medic feeds here. So that was really not great. I don't know why your medic went in there. There's no reason for that. What you can do though, okay, your team is dying a lot. So all you guys really got to do here is group up and start jumping onto the cart. A lot of people really underestimate or really overestimate how hard it is to push this point when the cart's gotten this far. All you have to do is just start filtering, like just jumping on that cart. If it's that close, it's gonna get in eventually if enough people stand on. A really good job pushing that soldier with your soldier. You guys are pretty low because of that, but I mean, really good job capitalizing on that 2v1. You didn't really engage here, and you didn't really engage there, so good job. Like you did engage, but I mean, you kind of waited for your soldier to engage. All right, so I probably wouldn't have shot that. If you were trying to go for a sneaky capture, I wouldn't have shot that pyro. Oh, it's TMP, God. Because it probably alerted him a lot sooner than it would have, but you guys have wasted so much time, honestly, just fighting players and getting like inconsequential picks that the cart's actually rolled back a ton, it looks like, so I'll make sure that isn't happening. And I see that you were take a fight with that soldier, yeah, so you backed out, which is good. Your scout actually killed him, so far you've been playing this pretty well, but I mean, it's engineer. Jesus, man, you're playing this really well. Nice work. Yeah, I really like how you're holding your ground everywhere. You don't really advance. You don't walk forward unless you need to. Like this is very good so far. Like you're understanding what engineer in this game mode entails, especially on this map where it's so easy to get punished as engineer if you overstep. So playing this really well. Oh my god. I feel like I really hope I'm wrong here. I'm really hoping that this isn't just a game where we just had a really good game. Like this is a really good game. Like I never would have guessed that you're in. I think you're in me. I don't know. I never would have guessed that. This is. You're playing very well here. I'm sort of hoping that this is like consistently what your games are like, and that what am I saying? I hope your games are like this consistently, and that you're not just sending me a game that was like really good for you. Okay, so this is a really good call. Running leveled guns on this point of the map is very good for engineer because cart gets right around there near that pit. It becomes really useful because as they're all trying to drop down onto the cart, and honestly, I probably would have waited till you got it to level 2 before contesting there. But anyway, that center gun is so freaking good because it has a higher DPS and more health than just a regular mini sentry. And okay, well you guys won anyway, but good idea though. That was a good idea. I actually probably would have stayed on. I wouldn't have stayed on Rescue Ranger. I wouldn't have switched to Rescue Ranger. I probably would have just stayed on Shotgun because you need to be able to DM when you're pushing the cart there. But yeah, that sentry gun's really good because once the cart gets really close to that pit, everybody on on the defending team is just jumping into a. Oh, oh no. Oh no. No. I was hoping this wouldn't be the case. And your medal gets stolen. God damn. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry, King. Alright, let's go ahead and skip forward a little bit here. I hope to God you don't get killed here. I hope to God, or rather, I hope to God this mistake doesn't get you killed. Or any other of your combo members killed. Oh no! And then he makes the realization. Alright, yeah, so first one's pretty much a throwaway. And this is really unusual for a demo. Okay, he just threw his life away for no reason. Good job keeping your gun up. So, one thing really quickly, I'll probably get into more detail about it like a little bit later here, depending on how quickly and how well they push in here. So, what I like to do is I like to put my sentry gun right here. And I say this a lot because I see a lot of engineers putting their gun right here. And this isn't a bad spot at all. This is actually a very good spot. But personally, I like to put my sentry gun right around here in the middle of the catwalk because it blocks, or not blocks, but it's a little easier for you to spam down main with a wrangler and allows you to watch side tunnel a little better. And it pretty much also forces the enemy team to fight a battle on two fronts in a sense, so that when your gun isn't taking the same spam as like the rest of your combo here. But it looks like they're messing this push up pretty badly here. But see how... Actually, yeah. So you're actually pulling this off effectively here, so... It's just a suggestion. I don't think you absolutely should put a sentry gun there. It's not like a mandatory thing. It's just my personal preference. You are a little more vulnerable to spies in that position, but... You know, it's whatever you want. Okay, very good job killing that spy. Whacking your gun first. So that was actually like a very, very good technique for unsapping your gun and killing the spy. So he basically, you hit your sentry gun once, and then you turned around and killed the spy. Lucky he didn't kill you. That was really good. And then you unsapped the gun with your final hit. So he couldn't put the sapper down again, because you had already hit it once, and then it would only take one more hit for you to unsap it once he killed you. So very good technique there. Okay, so that was really... Oh, he almost died, man. Oh no! Oh, that was unfortunate. You honestly, you shouldn't have. That shouldn't have killed you. I think you saw that coming a mile away. Not the fact that he reflected them, but like the actual rockets themselves. They were very noticeably coming back to you, and I feel like you definitely could have avoided that. But that's a shame. You guys look like you all died anyway, so it's not a huge deal. So you're not on minis here, which is interesting. That's usually the common strategy. And I guess you guys are completely giving up third as well, which probably for the better from what I can tell. Looks like they've already got a lot of momentum there. So actually, well, it looks like your team is trying to contest them, but your combo's already backed up, so there's literally no point. Okay, so it looks like you've opted to go on to level 3s here, which is still really good. You are on Jag, so it's going to be a little easier for you to set up here. And you're on shotgun as well, so this is actually a pretty solid loadout for this point. Basically, if a spy starts walking at you, you can go ahead and deal with them. Looks like your aim is pretty solid too, so you don't really have to worry about missing. That is unfortunate that your sniper died, though. I feel like that is one thing you probably could have been looking out for a little better, especially because the rest of your team pretty much has to fight the people that are on cart. You guys are kind of getting overwhelmed here. You guys caught out that spy, although your gun went down. But you are getting another one built up in no time, so that's good. Okay. So far you've been playing this extremely well. I haven't really noticed many serious flaws in your gameplay here. You're kind of just playing engineer. Like, This seems like a pretty standard game to me. It looks like you guys are giving that up, though. I feel like you didn't really have to give that up. I don't think a whole lot of things were dying there. Oops. I don't think a whole lot of things were like looking at the pics here, looking at the kill feed to see if anything's like actually fucking died. So your demo was up, but other players lost. Their demo's all the way over here. So I don't know why you guys are backing up here. You probably could have held that, honestly, assuming your sniper was alive. I actually didn't check to see if he died, but if your sniper was alive, you 100% could have held that. But now you have to hold this for about, what's it called? You have to hold this for about 4 minutes, which is definitely doable, but not really favorable. So they honestly gained a lot of momentum here when they really shouldn't have. And your medic dies, which is not very favorable either. So here you want to be playing very defensively. You pretty much want to be trying to tank your gun as much as you can here. That's going to be... Because now that your medic is dead, that's like the prime focus for everybody else. So you want to be careful here. They're Ubering their soldier, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they're doing that. Yeah, they fucked that Uber up royally. That was not a good Uber at all. So, but you kept your gun wrangled, which was good. You spammed down all the other players in main who weren't Ubered because... I don't know if you knew the Uber was shit, but it was definitely shit, and you capitalized on that very well. So nice work doing that.
Okay. Spy on.
Just gonna turn the audio on a little bit to keep some ambience, get some ambience going.
Arson top left. Soldier top right. By.
Was in cart. Heavy's in cart.
Cart time. Cart time. Cart time.
Cart at 30.
Good pressure, good pressure.
Heavy dead.
I feel like you could be turning around a little more to when the spy's alive. Oh my god, they're actually feeding so hard in here. They're playing horribly. They're not putting any pressure on you at all.
Spy sniper? No.
Yeah, they can't do they really can't do anything until your gun dies here.
Are they going craft? They're not for left.
Okay, your pyro's on homewrecker, which honestly makes this even better. Your pyro's a bro for doing that.
He's alone top left.
Heavy took 100. Heavy took 100 on right.
Ours in with him.
Med dead.
Sniper's top left. Sniper's top left. Can't peek him.
Yeah, so all they're doing is feeding here. There's really not a whole lot you can do aside from wrangle your gun if they start shooting at you. I'd maybe apply a little bit more spam pressure down in main, but it's really not that necessary. And now your gun is dead. I want to see how you play this. So it looks like you're kind of just blowing a lot of resources here trying to get the gun back up. They stopped pressuring you after the gun went down, which is very strange to me. I feel like if they kept doing that, they would have been able to... If they kept applying that pressure, they probably could have made sure you didn't build the gun and were forced it back up. But you held your ground. You actually managed to get the center gun back up. So one thing I'm noticing is you're playing very. I tell this to a lot of mentees is that you want to play it confidently. You want to play very proactively and very play like you know what you're doing. You know.
Spy on gun. Spy on gun. Spy on gun.
Okay, that was a good call. Sucks that your sniper died, but it was otherwise pretty solid. So there I would have wrangled just to keep the gun up a little longer, but at this point it's pretty much as good as dead. Here you're running towards the heavy. Yeah, so this would probably... How are you alive? Okay. So I honestly would have ran back and switched to minis at that point. Just because it's a little easier. Your heavy needs to drop down here. We should have dropped down earlier. Or you guys lost that. Anyway, yeah, so I would have ran back and switched to minis and just put one at the top there.
He's gonna two-step. Nice shot.
Okay, hopefully you fix the error this time. Let's just go to the second half. Yeah, honestly, so far you've been playing really well, man. There's like a few minor things that I'd fix.
Can I have an arrow here, please?
But
Spy in tunnel.
you seem to be very... You seem like you know what you're doing, which is good. Again, I'm just hoping you didn't send me of one very good game that you've had. I don't really know why you'd think that this would be worth reviewing. Because to me, it seems like you're doing a Very good job here. You're even backing out early as well. That's very good.
Pyro is
And nobody took your ammo, which is good.
Alright, be sure to
sniping.
stop.
Soldier took 100 there.
Meds
Soldier took 100. Nice. Soldier dead. Meds.
Fair enough
second.
already.
He hit me. Alright, it's he's 101 in tunnel. I'm dead right
Sniper's
now.
very forward.
Sniper dead.
Fucking retard.
Gutter.
NG's in tunnel. Yeah. Alright, you
He
guys
is?
back up.
Spy here?
Stop,
Spy lower?
stop it.
Yeah. Got lower right here. Watch.
Their NG should have been fighting you too.
50.
Sniper's dead.
Spy it lower.
Nice job keeping your gun wrangle. They have very little card time here. I'm pretty sure it's like hardly even in tunnel at this point.
That's what they did last time.
So that push was worthless. Even if they like got that push, that wouldn't have done them any favors because the card is still so far back in tunnel. Your flank is doing a really good job keeping them out of tunnel.
Scouts killing me on card check 60.
This is boring.
They're running direct hit.
This is really good. Oh no!
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's another reason why I like building over there. That's gonna happen so many times. Like I've noticed that becoming a lot more popular. People running the flog into upper.
Demo took 116 dead.
I think we can stay
It was a good kill.
They used. We win this.
Our meds
Okay,
alone
yeah,
third.
we can
I'm
definitely
on
stay.
it. Come
I'm
get
literally
get
killing
the guy.
the city.
Everybody's yelling. I'm gonna mute that.
Fighting third. Let's
Anyway, yeah, so I don't. That's a big reason why I've sort of started playing back because they're always going to go for something stupid, and you never know when you might get caught out in that. So, to play a little safer in the middle of the catwalk. It looks like you guys have actually opted to hold third here. This is good because I actually get to look at what you're doing. Okay, I guess not. So one thing you can do, you're holding third passively, is you can put a gun. Oh shit! Hold on. Go back. You can actually put a gun right. Wait for it. Right there. Right there is a really good spot for a passive gun on third, because it doesn't really start shooting at anybody until you either come out of red room, which is like there, or they round the corner. The cart rounds the corner, and it applies a lot of extra pressure from the front, and it's just generally very irritating for them. So that's usually a pretty good spot for a sentry gun. If you guys are not really, if you guys are like preparing to back out, or you want to hold that a little passively, I feel like you fellas definitely could have held that. So probably a wasted opportunity, but what's done is done. You guys haven't really held third at all, which is very frustrating because it's a very good point to hold. I think that mainly stems from your guys'. You can't destroy stickies with that. It mainly stems from your guys' feeding early on or dying too late on second. Your sniper's popping off. Oh, he died. Okay, so their scout pretty much rolled you guys, so you can't really do much anymore here. So back to last it is, I guess. You guys haven't really been holding here you guys haven't held third or fourth very well at all. It's kind of I can't see you. It's hard to see you playing. I can't really see how you play them when your team isn't really making an effort to hold those points anyway, or is just unable to because they get stomped from the previous point. If you guys are backing out of third early, then you shouldn't have any excuse to have no momentum when you're holding fourth, to hold no ground when you're on fourth. So I'd even suggest forward holding with your team. So like while they play a little more aggro around that corner, you can move your gun up a little more forward there. But it didn't happen, so what a shame. The noise back on. Let's see if they're still yelling at each other.
They're still on it?
Yeah,
have-
he's still on it.
Okay.
Constant. You gotta either say.
Sniper's going right, Kami.
It was risky to leave your gun there, but I guess nothing really happened because they're not really pushing in yet.
Where?
Okay, so it looks like they're on DH now. They really want your gun dead. So you must be doing something right. Oh, shoot. Okay, so their soldier's dead, so that relieves a lot of pressure for you. Yeah, you can honestly just keep spamming here. There's really nothing else. There's not much else you can do except spy check and do anything else.
Left or right. We have 90%.
Oh, sniper's far right, inside locker.
Don't die here. Power's botting for me.
Yeah, there's not much to say here, man. You're playing engineering on defense, and your team's doing a good job of applying pressure on everybody that can apply pressure on you. Your Pyro's playing in a really good position. Your Heavy's playing in a good position. Uh-oh, that's not good. So there you could have jumped down actually. If you're not in a position to if you're not in a position to go back to spawn and switch, or everybody's dying too fast, you just gotta jump down. You gotta save as much time as you can. Like, every second counts, especially near the end there on Swiftwater last. But again, not very minor. Not a whole lot of, just a bunch of smaller things you ought to tweak that would fix. Why does he do this? He's never gonna get anything. Anyway, yeah, not a lot of huge things you could do to like make your gameplay better. Like you're playing about as well as, I wouldn't say you're playing as well as you can, but you're definitely making the most of the situation right now. Like the situation that your team's in. Okay. Okay, good. You actually did it this time. So that's very, very smart.
Sniper, I think, is watching tunnel from.
Ooh, Skull was hiding. Sniper's inside house, left side house.
Why is he still on direct hit? He actually could have won that if it wasn't on direct hit. He probably could have taken that 2v1. Because your scout played right next to your mini. And they would have taken the same 2 rockets and died. And they would have killed you because you're an engineer. That was really stupid on that soldier's part.
Nice. They're rebuilding on right.
Ouch. That's unfortunate.
House far right, top right.
I'm going right tunnel. I'm probably gonna die by spider here.
Yep.
I'm with you, Vaughn.
I'm gonna die by scout.
Spies in tunnel.
Looks like you guys. Nah, that was a failed push. Looks like.
Up in 3.
Been one.
I'm gonna try a tunnel shot again. Oh my god, their flank is just rolling in there.
Their flank got tunnel again. My goodness. Their soldiers on DH. This is easy. Just gotta group up with your flank and walk in here. Yeah, there's nothing you can do right now. Don't. No. You should. Yeah, that's probably the first big mistake you've actually made. But it was just again, it was a big mistake. You don't want to do that. Don't ever do. I mean, I'm sure you knew that, but I mean, it's not worth going for those flashy plays. Like, yeah. What if he didn't hit that? But he did. And 9 times out of 10, even if he is on DH, that's a very toss-up fight. There's no guarantee that you're gonna win that in any scenario, unless he was like half health. Good, that scout's useless while your sentry gun is up. Uh-oh. Okay. Good job chasing the medic there. That was actually the right thing to do. If their medic dies, it would have been really hard for them to hold that without heals.
Would it be worth dying?
And your combo isn't getting into apartments which is annoying me. I feel like they're giving up this ground for no reason. Good job catching that spy out. You got some pretty solid aim, man, I won't lie. Uh-oh.
2 minutes. Okay. Stuber is do or die.
90. 95, we take
Man. I want to say you're lucky that this soldier is playing, is running DH. He's honestly making this so much easier for you. Because he's on DH, he's literally made it, Like you would have again, you would have died if he was on stock rocket launcher and tunnel. Oh, that was huge.
Med died.
Pyro's here.
But yeah, he's making that way too easy for you to push tunnel, especially like you know
There was also a spy.
at this point, especially flank control is huge. So shoulder swing it away. You're going in for no reason. Okay, now I'm starting to notice you're making a few more mistakes here.
Top right.
There's no scenario where going in there's a good idea. You're just gonna die. Wow, you guys actually almost got it. Yeah, so if you guys all came in there together, you would have gotten that, like, no question. But everybody just kind of staggered and bled in one by one, and it got everybody killed. And it delayed your guys' push by a little bit, so that's something you want to do.
Got the cap.
1 minute. For demo setup, putting up IT. Be there in a sec. Med's up in 4.
My goodness, how are you alive? Ah, there we go. Yeah, I would have kept backing out there. You don't really want to keep fighting a soldier. Alright, well, this is pretty much over. Alright,
This ain't it, man.
Just ain't it.
I don't know, boss. That's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to say. I again, a lot of the mistakes you're making are very minor, but the thing is they're so easily fixable. It's just as simple as like don't do this or just do this instead or do this more often, you know? So it's like spy check more often. Maybe try putting your gun in another spot so you're not taking doing the flog thing, or maybe spy check a little more often, like be able to predict when their spy is coming in. Like that stuff is very easy to implement into your gameplay, especially the way you're playing now. Very easy to implement stuff like this into your gameplay, so you don't really have to worry about those minor mistakes possibly negatively impacting your gameplay. But overall, it was very well done. I mean, what I saw. I mean, that second half was kind of questionable, but I mean, it seemed like you guys were already kind of tilted and frustrated from the first half. So, but otherwise, I mean, it was not too bad. Especially don't go in by yourself. I feel like that was something you did very well of not doing in the first half, but in the second half, I kind of noticed you started throwing your life away for no reason, and that's really not something you want to make a habit of. So, but otherwise, yeah, pretty well done, especially in the first half. You played very well. All right, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Take care, y'all.